What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool transfer news video, and today we will talk about the fact that Liverpool are progressing in talks to sign Milos Kerkez, and we are already in talks with 3 different players, and Paul Joyce revealed the big summer transfer plans for Liverpool, so we will run through the whole team and what exactly are Liverpool planning to do in the summer transfer window. But let me know, if you were in charge of Liverpool transfers, what would you do in the summer? What kind of players would you sell and would you buy? Let me know in the comments below. I would love to read your comments. And Richard Hughes has a chance to make a massive statement at Liverpool. I think he made a massive statement by re-signing Salah and Van Dijk on 2-year contracts. And so far Richard Hughes signed Kerkez and Mamardashvili. Both players are great signings on paper. Mamardashvili is a lot cheaper than what you normally pay for an elite goalkeeper, and Mamardashvili is having a really good season at Valencia. Valencia were struggling in the first half of the season, but then they improved massively in the second half, and Mamardashvili was man of the match in many of their games. Key is also a good value for money signing. It's not Richard Hughes' fault that Arne Slot didn't really play Kerkez a lot, doesn't fancy him, but also Richard Hughes signing Salah and Van Dijk to new contracts is a massive statement. And the transfer speculation has already started on what kind of transfers Liverpool will make, and it looks like Liverpool have already started to accelerate their interest, and we are already in talks with Milos Kerkez, the Bournemouth player, who actually Richard Hughes was the person who took Milos Kerkez from AZ Alkmaar to Bournemouth, and Liverpool have already begun talks to bring the Hungarian to Merseyside. It would make me so happy because I'm also Hungarian, just like Kerkez and Szoboszlai. So Liverpool also plan to replace Tsimikas with Kerkez. I think Tsimikas will be the player to be sold, and Kerkez isn't actually the only Bournemouth player that Liverpool are in talks for, because according to recent reports, Liverpool have informed Bournemouth that they will meet Dean Huijsen's 50 million release clause this summer as well, so we don't need to talk much with Bournemouth, just pay the release clause and then we can already negotiate with Dean Huijsen. So it looks like that is in place. I made a detailed video about Dean Huijsen and the latest transfer news around him yesterday, so make sure to watch it. And I also uploaded a brand new Liverpool career mode episode earlier today, so make sure to check that out if you enjoy the career modes. A number of clubs are also trying to tempt Dean Huijsen away from Bournemouth, but Liverpool will be hard to turn down. And the big question, the million-dollar question, who will be Liverpool's main striker next summer? Darwin Núñez is pretty much nailed on to leave. Fabrizio Romano already said that Liverpool are planning to sell Darwin Núñez. Darwin Núñez is open to a new chapter, but Diogo Jota could also be sold if a really good offer arrives for him. And pretty much every big name striker has been linked to Liverpool. Alexander Isak, Benjamin Šeško, Ekitike, João Pedro, Julian Alvarez, Liam Delap. They have all been linked with Liverpool. They are all on Liverpool's radar, so it's going to be a difficult task to pick out the player who suits Arne Slot's playing style the most and who also is good value for money, because Liverpool don't want to pay like £100 million for Ekitike, for example, because that's not value for money. But I think Alexander Isak probably is the most value for money transfer. Even if we pay £120 million for him, I think Isak would be absolutely sensational at Liverpool, and it would solve the striker position for many years to come. And if we could sell Darwin Núñez to Saudi for £70 million, then the Isak transfer wouldn't look as expensive. It was revealed by Anfield Watch, a Liverpool-based news outlet, that the striker that Liverpool have open talks with is Hugo Ekitike. I think if Ekitike is around 65 million pounds, if that's the transfer fee that Frankfurt are asking for, then I think he's the best value for money signing, because you can't tell me that Isak is twice as good a player as Ekitike. Ekitike is just a younger version of Isak in that he's only 22 years old. Isak is already 25. Isak is pretty much the finished article already. Ekitike is still developing, but with Liverpool still having Salah, Luis Diaz, Jota, Gakpo, I think we can afford to sign a project striker, if you like, because we can still play Jota in many games if Ekitike he doesn't hit the ground running, but he can develop and grow behind Jota, and then hopefully in a year's time Ekitike can be a 20-25 goal a season striker. He already can be that if he doesn't have to start every week, and if the pressure won't be too much on his shoulders, because Ekitike has all the attributes and all the potential to be a very successful striker. It looks like that Liverpool sporting director has already put the wheels in motion on a move for Ekitike, with talks being held with the players' representatives in London. And this summer transfer window is talked about as one of the biggest in the club's history, and it really could be, because Liverpool are in a very healthy financial position. There is plenty of room for spending, and player sales could further boost the transfer budget for the summer. And it's unlikely that the only three players that Liverpool are going to sign are these three players, Kerkez, Huijsen and Ekitike, who Liverpool are already in talks for or in talks with. And this is a big opportunity for Richard Hughes to really make his mark on the Liverpool squad, and him building up the Liverpool squad, I think, is a very, very exciting prospect. And it has been revealed that Man City also held talks to sign Milos Kerkez, but I think even though Man City have entered the race, Milos Kerkez is more likely to sign for Liverpool because of his connections with Szoboszlai, and also Kerkez has the same agency as Federico Chiesa has. And also remember that Richard Hughes already knows Kerkez very well. Right now, Liverpool are a better project. We still don't know what kind of punishment Man City are going to get, but they could get relegated. Hopefully they will get relegated in the summer to the Championship, and then I don't think a lot of players will want to go to Manchester City. Man City are also expected to offload a number of big names, including the likes of maybe Bernardo Silva, Jeremy Doku. Already it was confirmed that Kevin De Bruyne is leaving on a free transfer. And yes, they are big admirers of Kerkez. Man City are not willing to engage in a bidding war with Liverpool. The report shares that Man City were far from impressed about the talks with Kerkez, which is perhaps good news for Liverpool, that Liverpool are still in the driving seat for Kerkez. Jack Grealish might leave Manchester City as well. What a failed signing Jack Grealish has been. He's scoring like 3 goals a season for £100 million. That's one of the worst transfers in Premier League history. In terms of Kerkez's future, it still looks like Liverpool are in the driving seat for the defender, which I'm really, really happy about. And Paul Joyce in the Times is reporting that Liverpool are preparing for a big summer. And this could be a historic first season for Arne Slot, because Liverpool are on course to win only their second league title in 35 years. It's an incredibly special season, and change is coming. A big summer that Virgil van Dijk also referenced at the start of the week will be less extensive now that Van Dijk and Salah both signed contract extensions, but still Liverpool probably will sign at least 3 or 4 players, maybe even 5 or 6. Arne Slot said it is already a big summer with Salah and Van Dijk staying. There is a study being done that the longer a team plays together, the more success it has. I think the core of the team you want to keep together as long as you can, as long as they are performing in the best possible way. But it is also in general good to have some new energy in and around the place with 1 or 2 players. That I agree on. And I think it was very smart not to make too many signings when Arne Slot came in, because Liverpool had a very good competitive squad. We won the League Cup last season, and we were in the title race up until the last 6 or 7 game weeks of the Premier League season. And Arne Slot and Richard Hughes had a full season to assess the squad and to figure out what kind of transfers, what kind of players Liverpool need. And there was already enough change for Liverpool without actually changing the whole team. But now that Liverpool signed Chiesa, and 1 year later we are signing Mamardashvili for just 25 million, I think that's a great value for money signing. Chiesa also was a very low risk transfer for 10 million. We could easily sell Chiesa to Italy for 10 million, and then it's just a nothing signing, like nothing happened. And yes, Chiesa's salary is pretty high, but we can always sell him if Arne Slot doesn't fancy him. I would still give Chiesa a full season where he actually plays regularly, because I think he is a fantastic player and he shows really good signs that he can do it at the highest level. Liverpool have been linked with so many strikers. We have also been linked with Antoine Semenyo from Bournemouth. I don't like him in terms of he's not a Liverpool level player. And Jeremy Frimpong has been linked with from Bayer Leverkusen, but I don't think he's a right back. He's more of a right winger as well. Liverpool have been linked with Nico Williams, Arda Güler, Anthony Gordon, Ryan Cherky, Jorel Hato, Jared Brunthwaite. I don't think Liverpool would do business with Everton. It looks like Darwin Núñez and Diogo Jota only have 11 Premier League goals between them. That's not good enough. No excuses, I'm sorry. But Jota has been in and out of the team with injury, but still Jota should have scored more goals. Darwin Núñez definitely should have scored a lot more goals. And there is no suggestion that Newcastle are willing to sell Alexander Isak. That's why we are lining up other transfer targets. And also, if the valuation is 150 million, then Liverpool will just say, no thanks, for that money we don't want to sign Alexander Isak. And also it was wise not to spend 115 million on the likes of Jude Bellingham or Moises Caicedo, because with that amount, almost that amount, we could rebuild our complete midfield. McAllister, Szoboszlai and Gravenberch cost 130 million pounds combined. We basically paid as much money for those three players as we almost paid for one player in Gravenberch. Competition for Andy Robertson is required at left back, so Milos Kerkez is the most likely to be signed in that department. And if Trent Alexander leaves on a free transfer, there is a question whether a new right back is needed. I think definitely, because you can't go into the season with just Conor Bradley and maybe use Joe Gomez, Jarrod Kwanzaa or Curtis Jones as right backs. I don't think that's viable. I mean, Conor Bradley could miss 1 or 2 months with an injury, and then who do you play as right back? So Liverpool definitely need a new right back coming in my opinion, if Trent Alexander-Arnold leaves. Somebody who is young, if you want to make Conor Bradley first choice, that's fine for me. Maybe sign a 20, 21-year-old talented right back who can also grow and develop. Dean Huijsen is a big target for Liverpool. His release clause is 50 million. And yes, the midfield, I think, needs to be looked at, because yes, Gravenberch, McAllister and Szoboszlai is a great midfield, and Curtis Jones is playing regularly as well. But apart from those four midfielders, Arne Slot doesn't fancy the others. Vaterando, Tyler Morton, hardly played, Harvey Elliott as well. Liverpool need to either sell these players or give them more playing time. What about Harvey Elliott? Does he fight for minutes again or take a flight in search of the opportunity to show the best of himself? If Harvey Elliott wants to play regularly, and if that's not coming at Liverpool, maybe he will leave. But I don't think Harvey Elliott would actively be pushing for an exit. Also, Tsimikas will probably want to move for regular game time. Maybe Joe Gomez as well. Darwin Núñez is already having 1 foot out of the door. There is always chatter about Luis Diaz's contract that has 2 years left to run. So either we sell Luis Diaz, which I don't want because we already need a striker. What I would do is actually play Luis Diaz for 1 more season. Let's see how he performs. And then if he doesn't perform, maybe sell him with 1 year left on his contract. But if he even improves his numbers, I would actually consider extending Luis Diaz's contract. The arrival of Mamardashvili has obvious repercussions for Kelleher, who also wants more game time, so Kelleher could be sold. I think Alisson will be the number 1 goalkeeper next season and Mamardashvili will be number 2. But I think now that we have a younger goalkeeper, Alisson could run down his contract. He has 2 years left on his contract as well. Liverpool are on course to become champions, so it's a good position to be in. But the summer transfer window will be a really, really big one, and I just outlined Richard Hughes' plans. But let me know, what would you do if you were in charge of Liverpool? Leave your thoughts down below. And here is the Premier League table. It looks so good to look at. Liverpool have a 13-point lead. I think Arsenal will beat Ipswich, so I don't think we will celebrate the Premier League title today. But who knows? Stranger things have happened. And also, Aston Villa smashing Newcastle 4-1 yesterday really opens up the Champions League race Because if Chelsea beat Fulham, then 3rd and 7th place will be just separated by 2 points. With 5 games to go, that is an absolutely insanely close race to the Champions League. And one of Newcastle, Man City, Tottenham, Aston Villa and Chelsea, 2 out of these 6 clubs will miss out, 5 clubs, will miss out on Champions League football. I think right now the favourites are Newcastle, Man City, and Nottingham Forest also need to pick up some results, because they, after losing 2 games, they are in danger of slipping down the table. I think Aston Villa are in blistering form. They have won 5 in a row. I mean, Newcastle won 6 games in a row before getting hammered by Aston Villa 4-1. So that shows what a competitive Premier League this is. So the suggestion that this is the poorest Premier League season and that Liverpool just walking through to the title is absolute nonsense. Look at the Europa League. Man United are 14th, Tottenham are 15th, and they could play the Europa League final. Aston Villa almost knocked out Paris Saint-Germain, who are one of the best teams in Europe, and Aston Villa are in 6th, 7th place in the Premier League. That just shows the absolute incredible strength of the Premier League. So I don't buy it that this is a poor Premier League season. I think this is actually one of the strongest Premier League seasons in recent memory. And Arne Slot is not thinking about the title. He said, I'm not sure if you believe me, but I'm not thinking about the title right now. I'm living in the moment. I'm not looking backwards a lot. I'm not looking forwards a lot. And in football, people tell you to enjoy the whole journey. But the only thing as a manager you're thinking about is that at the weekend there is a game coming up. My thoughts are on Leicester and how to improve, what we can do better. We could do many things better in the first half against West Ham. We could not do a lot of things better in the second half. During the start of the week, we have worked on what to improve a lot, and we are working towards Leicester. So let's take it one game at a time, and let's just try to win against Leicester, and let's see where we are after the game. But I think the most realistic scenario is let's try to win the title against Tottenham at Anfield. I think that would be the most magical moment. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.